Today is Wednesday, September 18th. Welcome to another episode of Deliberate Discussions Live. I am your co-host, Vicki Horton.
And I'm your co-host, Adric Parker.
And we
are Deliberate Discussions.
I don't know why you get so freaking tickled by that, friend. I really don't.
I don't know why. Every time we say it, every week, it just tickles the hell out of me.
It does. I don't know why, that tickles you so much. Like, what is wrong with you?
How are you tonight, friend?
I am well. I am doing so well.
Okay.
It's been a trying week, and I just, with work, and I'm loving my new job. I am. I really
That's
am.
really good. I'm happy for you. That's really, really good. A new start is always good and stuff, and I'm glad that it's working out. I'm really excited about the show tonight because it really gives our viewers an opportunity to see a completely different side of us and get to know us a little bit deeper. So this intimate hour with Vicki and Patrick. So
it's all about us. It is all
correct.
about us.
We always talking about everything and everybody and stuff like that. So let's talk about us tonight, And so I'm really, really excited about that. So let's get into this one promo that we have, and then we're going to move forward and get this thing rocking.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday night at 16700 Jog Road, Delray Beach, the South County Civic Center, they are having the Laughing Christian Comedy Jam. This is going to be, again, Saturday, September 21st. This event starts at, and I hope I'm not going to get this wrong, it starts 7 p.m. However, the doors open at 6 p.m. So to all our church folk, get out there and get your Christian Comedy Jam on. Okay, you Correct. Go out Saturday night and you laugh and have fun with God, and then you get right back up on Saturday morning and you give praise to him. Okay, y'all make sure y'all govern yourselves accordingly. Please go to Deliberate Discussions Facebook page and look at the flyer. You can get in touch with Guy Edmondson Sr. or you can go to www.bigcollection.bigcartel.com. Don't let that name fool y'all Christian folks with the bigcartel.com thing. Or I'll make it easy for y'all. 561-921-8755. Make sure you give Guy a call. And make sure y'all Christian folk in there laughing. This is the one place y'all can laugh and talk about God now and talk about each other. Y'all can crack on each other. Y'all ain't got to wait until you get in church on Sunday to talk about what sister so-and-so was wearing them black stockings with them white shoes. Okay?
Oh my God, friend.
Yourselves accordingly this Saturday. Okay?
Do not start your shit tonight. Okay? First of all, I want to give a shout out to Maria because Maria has been rocking with us for the last couple of weeks, and she has been like the first one in the room every night. So Maria, thank you so much for your continued support.
Thank you so much for joining us each and every Wednesday night. Oh my God, we have one more episode after tonight's episode, Patrick. You know that?
Correct. Yes, we do have one episode left, our season finale for season 6, which I'm extremely excited about. So next week we just gonna talk cash money shit and just have fun, which is extremely exciting. And then we will go on our break. We both have so much going on our break. So, but of course, if we got to come back and talk shit, breaking news or whatever, an election or something, we coming back. So
y'all already know how we do it. Patrick, let me just give a shout out real quick to Tammy R. Boyd. You all may know her back in Delray as Tammy Weatherspoon. Tammy has her own podcast and she inboxed Deliberate Discussions. We sent her a friend request. And Tammy, she says that it would be, she says 7 seasons. That's great. She wants to do a collaboration with us. Thanks for the connect. If possible, I would love to collab and be on your podcast and invite you to be on mine. So shout out to Tammy.
Congrats, Tammy. Shout out.
We are definitely looking forward to that.
Exactly, and in season 7. So, but yeah, so tonight, just to our viewers that just came in, tonight is a little different for us. We spend each week talking about, different subjects, different topics, just different news that don't typically hit mainstream media. So we bring different stories to you guys each week. So tonight we have actually decided to do something a little bit more intimate. Tonight is an intimate hour with Vicki and Patrick. Tonight gives our viewers an opportunity just to get to know Vicki and I on a more personal level, and to get into our lives. So we're really looking forward to this show, and been looking forward to opening up to you guys tonight. So let's get this thing rocking, friend.
All right, let's go. What do you want to do? Question for question, or what you want to do?
So I can start my question first if you're ready for it.
Okay, well, you
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay. So who would narrate an audiobook memoir about your life?
I would have to say it would be my daughters
Okay.
because they know me inside and out. Tiffany, Jaleesa, my kids would have to be the ones to narrate that book. And Janera Wright, of course, Janera Wright will bring the old school to my book.
Okay.
Tyra Puckett White, she would be those two together. So
So they would have different. They would have. They would have different chapters in the book, right?
Yes, most definitely.
Okay.
Those
Okay.
people, and then also Penelope King, she would narrate I guess, the stop it, Vicky side of me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like Vicky,
Okay.
So those are the 5 people that would have to narrate.
Okay.
My book, I think.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Good.
Okay, so let's see, where do I start? I got a lot of questions. Okay, I tell you what. How do you like working with me as a co-host?
How I actually love working with you as a co-host. And the reason why I love working with you as a co-host, for one, we are very connected. We're typically always thinking about the same thing, but also we respect each other. We
Yes.
don't always agree. And people don't know that behind scenes that there may be something that I'm interested in and maybe something that you're not interested in, but we have a way of working through it, and we also have a way of supporting each other. It's different stories that we want to bring forward that you may not necessarily be feeling, or I may not necessarily be feeling, but you know what, friend, I'm gonna rock with you. We're gonna make this work. And that's the one thing that I appreciate so much about our relationship, that we're not yes ma'am or yes sir people.
Right.
We're like, no bitch, you're wrong. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and that's what I love the most about our relationship. I don't see you as a co-host. You're my sister. You understand what I'm saying? So, and that's on so many levels. What we have been able to develop with deliberate discussions has been absolutely amazing. But what we have been able to develop in our personal lives, in our relationship, has been 10 times even better. And I cherish that so much.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
Mhm.
You are so amazing. You
Thank
really
you.
are. There's a second half to that question too. I should have told
Okay.
you that was a 2-part question. Thaddeus, I really need to know the like total take off all the I just need you to be so transparent right now. If I decided to walk away from DD Deliberate Discussions, would you continue to do this show on your own, or would you consider a replacement co-host? And if so, throw a couple of names out there that you would, just a couple of who you would consider.
If you decided to walk away from DD, I would stop this show. DD is not about Patrick. DD is not about Vicky. DD is about us. This is something we created together. So if Vicky decides to walk away from this show will be placed on the shelf. There's no one, absolutely no one, that I would consider as a co-host for this show besides Vicky Horton.
Wow.
Now, if I wanted to create something with someone else, yes, that's what I will do. But as far as deliberate discussions is concerned, this is our baby.
Yeah.
This is something we've built from the ground up and something that I cherish. So there's no replacing Vicky Horton in this seat.
Oh, you know what? And I feel the same exact way. I do.
Mhm.
I'm just like, when that question came to me and someone asked me, and I'm just like, I almost cried because and I said to them, I said, honestly, I cannot imagine doing deliberate discussions without you. Maybe a co-host every now and again, a guest co-host, But
And it's so funny
honestly,
that you say that because when we have had guest co-hosts, even when you've traveled or I travel, we have jumped in the line like, girl, what's going on?
like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, calling
like,
check on your baby every now and again.
exactly. That's exactly what we've done. We have jumped in where we're
We
at. Like,
have.
girl, let me see what's going on. I jumped in from South Africa. Like, girl, who's
I
your life?
know,
You
like,
know,
who the hell? And
exactly,
then I'm way over in England, and I'm
exactly.
like, I'm
Using
in
England.
England, girl. Like, really?
And we've had some amazing co-hosts that have
We
stepped in,
have.
but
We really
this
have.
is our baby. So if that ever had to happen, deliberate discussions will be something that will be placed on the shelves for me.
Yeah. I totally feel the same. Like I
Mhm.
honestly, like I said, I would just literally that would have to be our season finale. Like, you know, I just couldn't do the show without you. And I mean,
Correct.
I wouldn't have it any other way but to do it with you, you know. So
Correct.
okay. All right. So next
Okay.
question.
All right. So, what are your current priorities in this season of your life and why?
My current priorities right now is continuing my career in the financial industry and to work on saving money. And, you know, I can't really, at this point in my life, there's no such thing as not being able to accomplish financial freedom. I still have time. And I want to leave to my children a financial legacy. I want to leave them the house, and I want to leave them um I want to leave them debt free. Like, I don't want my kids to have to want for anything. But
Okay.
my kids are my main priority. Being, you know, the road to financial freedom. Those are my main priorities. It's about me. I am beyond worrying about other people and what they're trying to do, because what I've learned is that sometimes people will slow you down. And
Okay.
even though you may think people have the same mindset or mentality that you have, I have learned over these years that not everybody is going to think like me. Not everybody is going to want what I want in life. So, yeah, that's that's where I am right now.
Okay. And I asked you that question for a reason because some people don't know that you recently went through a bitter divorce. And I know that you love love.
Yes.
And you never in a million years imagine that you would be divorced at this point in your life.
Mhm.
And I know how much you had put into your marriage
Yes.
to where you tended to neglect yourself.
Right.
So I know mentally that you are in a much better place. So it was important to me to ask that question just to find out what's the priority for you because I always want, as a friend, to see you win.
I know. I know.
Always want to see you win. So in seeing you win, you have to learn how to cut out all the chatter
Yeah,
and focus on Vicky.
that's right.
Yep.
And
So
you know, you've been
and
there
you've been
with
doing a
me
good
the
job at
whole time.
yeah.
And I mean, from jump, you have definitely been there with me, and
Mhm,
you know the ugly side, the pretty side, the mediocre side, the angry side, the rage
mhm,
side, the loving side. You know, every side of me and what I went through. And you know, I mean, I look back at that and I'm just like I'm still in disbelief with what everything that I went through and how much time I wasted over the years. And time is
mhm.
very important in life. So don't, you know, I say this to anybody, don't let someone else waste your time. And honestly, don't pour too much of yourself into a person who's not pouring back into you.
If correct, if it's not reciprocated, absolutely
Right.
correct.
So, you
Okay.
know, I mean, some people look at the glass half full, some look at it half empty. Listen, no matter which way it goes,
Mhm.
it's not benefiting
Well,
you, whether it's half full or half empty. So you
well, I
have
would
to
say
decide.
this. I would say keep up the great work, friend. You're doing great.
Thank you
You
so
are.
much.
Mhm.
Okay, so who's next? Me or you?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Cedric, I know you are big on family. You come from a huge family, probably three times as big as my family. Um, when it comes to your family supporting you and your life decisions, your life choices, um, do you take their advice into consideration, or do you feel your choices are yours only to make, whether it involves your personal life or your business life?
So, thank you for asking that question. I am extremely close to my family, and my family is most definitely my pride and joy. Um, I'm an adult. I'm 47 years old. I'll be 48 in October. Um, I will say pretty much what people think about me at this point in my life, I don't give a fuck.
I
Okay. Um, but I will say I do carry I always think about my family when making decisions. I always think about how will this affect the people around me. You
Mhm,
understand what I'm saying?
mhm,
If I say this, if I do that, I walk through life knowing that I am representing the Parker family.
mhm.
I walk through life knowing that I'm representing Richard Parker and Katie Parker, although they're deceased. That's how I carry myself. Are their opinions important? They are. I do take that in consideration. But I also feel like there comes a point in life where parents have to allow their adult children to be adults.
Mhm.
We're going to make mistakes along the way, just like our parents made. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, but I I don't 100% care about people's opinions,
Mhm.
as long as that I'm happy, at the end of the day, but I'm also respectful of other people. I never wanna put my family in a position where they're out somewhere and somebody have something to say about, "Oh, you heard what T-Man said," or "You saw what T-Man did," or this,
Mm.
that, and the other stuff. I never wanna put my family in my shit. I
Right.
never wanna put my family in a situation where they have to defend my character. So that's why, I ensure that, you know, I think before I react versus react first and think later, if that
Mm,
makes sense. So,
okay.
mhm,
I don't know that text message you sent me the other day about the shooter there. I don't know. Did you think first about that one?
about
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 the
which one?
shooter. The shooter had one job.
Friend, that's us, girl.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Y'all, can we bleep
get,
that out?
get, get, out your, get out your text messages, girl.
I died when you said that. Like, oh my God. Like, really?
Damn, girl.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
man. Well, you told about my
That's okay.
threesome text messages.
Girl,
You
you
gave
talk
all
about
the
that
code words out.
you talk about that live on the show.
But you gave all my safe words out. Like, seriously. Our texts are
Oh
supposed to
God.
be sacred, Fred. But okay, I
Okay.
messed that one up. I messed that one up.
Okay. So my question to you is, would you rather people perceive you as being kind, smart, or attractive?
I would rather people perceive me as being kind. I listen, I don't care who thinks I'm attractive or not, okay, because you can't see inside a person's mind. So,
Correct.
what was the other one? Kind, attractive, and
Kind, smart, or attractive?
smart. My certifications and licenses speak for themselves. So,
Period.
I mean, smart. Am I smart? Do I think I'm smart? No, I'm educated. I test well, I read, I comprehend, so I don't need anyone's opinion on that. But I would rather people, I again, kind, because kindness is what people are going to remember about a person. Like, you know, and don't nobody come to my funeral talking about, oh, Vicky was always kind, especially if y'all didn't know me. Like, I don't care if people I don't know. You know me. I don't really care. But if I had to
I
choose
get it.
one, it would be kind.
Okay. And that's good
I
because
mean, I'm just
it
being
costs
real.
because
Like,
and that's great. And the reason why I respect that answer because it costs you absolutely nothing to be
not
kind
a
to
damn
people.
thing. Not a damn thing.
Absolutely kind. I don't give a damn how cute you are, how much money you got, how many credentials you got. If you ain't
Yeah,
nice, you ain't shit.
you ain't shit. Exactly. So I could care less about the smart and the attractive.
Hmm.
Child, listen, my daddy always said, "Baby, you may not be the prettiest, but you damn sure ain't the ugliest."
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay,
Okay.
because
Okay.
I could be blind and I could smell a man and think he's the most attractive man, but as soon as I open my eyes, I see how damn ugly he is. But because of his scent, I was attracted to
Mhm.
him. So
Correct.
attraction, that's to each his own as far as
Correct.
attraction. And like
Exactly.
I said, I want to be remembered for kindness.
So let me say this to our viewers. I know Vicky and I are asking each other questions, but if you all have any questions for Vicky or myself, please type them in the comments and we'll be happy to answer them.
Yeah. Or I have the phone, the Deliberate Discussions phone. If
Mhm.
you guys want to send a text message and give us a question to ask, I will be more than happy to read that question. 561-325-1488. You can text the Deliberate Discussions phone, and I'll be more than happy to read your question on the air. And might I add, some of the questions that I'm asking Thadric tonight are questions that some of our viewers wanted me to ask him, as well as some of the questions that I want. There's a lot of questions on here that I already know the answers to, and but my question to my co-host, I mean, it's kind of hard because it's like to ask decent questions where we don't know
Mhm.
the answer to, but we do want our
Correct.
viewers to know what we are. So
What's the
Okay,
next
with that
question
being
for me?
said, 561-325-1488,
Mhm.
or you can post your questions in the comments if there's anything that you want to ask myself or Thadric, and we'll be more than happy to read them right here on the air, because tonight this is an intimate hour with Vicky and Thadric. This is your chance to get to know your co-hosts and more about us. So Thadric, with that being said, you recently being a married man and marrying your destiny, Joshua Williams Parker,
Thank you.
aka my Bilal. I just want to know, because I mean, marriage is not for the weak. It's not for the weak. So my question to you: did you and Joshua go through marriage counseling prior to getting married? And if you did, how has counseling played a part in your now marriage?
Josh, Josh and I did go to counseling. We actually did counseling together, and then we did it separately because of both of
Oh,
us actually had um, issues, childhood trauma, things like that that we
mhm,
most definitely needed to address. But I will say that it's also a continuing process. You don't have to stop going to counseling because being married, you won't always get it right.
mm,
And it's also important to be able to speak to a third party, someone that's not in your house, that's not in your inner circle, that's not going to judge. One thing we don't do is, what's going on in our house stays in our house.
mhm.
It's not our parents' business, it's not our friends' business, it's not that, but um it's important that you speak to someone when you feel the need.
Mhm.
I recommend everyone going to counseling. And I will say, how it's worked in my marriage for me, I can only speak for myself. Um, it's allowed me to, you know, not speak at my husband, but speak with my husband.
Mhm.
It's allowed me to let go some things I may have been dealing with from my past, i.e., where it may have dealt with past relationships, may have dealt with, parental issues and things like
Mhm.
that, to where when you tend to hold on to all that type of stuff, people don't realize that you bring those things into your relationship.
That's so true.
And And those things can tend to just chip away, to where the both of you are at a point where you say, you know what, we're done.
Right.
Because you have not dealt with those things from the past. Excuse me. So, one thing I admire about my husband is that he's been very patient with me
Mhm.
because in getting with my husband, I was a very broken person. I never imagined in my life that I would, be in another relationship, let alone married,
Mm.
So, but he was very patient with me and doing the work together and understanding and so I appreciate that more than anything. But
Oh,
it's
wow.
helped.
That's you
Hmm.
just told me something I didn't know about you. So I didn't know you
Hmm.
guys did counseling separately as well. I knew you did it
Hmm.
together, but I mean,
Correct.
um, so someone just texted me and I guess they didn't want to give their name, but I there's a phone number here. I'm not going to say it out loud, but they are asking me what steps do you take to research topics for our platform?
Child, only if y'all knew.
I, listen,
Baby, that is a good damn question, but Lord have mercy, it is an ongoing process.
listen. I can say this. Um, some of the steps that we take is we are on every news outlet that there is, every social media outlet that there is. I don't too much care for the new Twitter, but my co-host here, he lives on Twitter. Like, and we text each other. Like, we literally don't. I think we probably text each other on weekly average, maybe 500-600 texts back and forth a
Oh,
week.
yeah,
Maybe.
we have so many. If y'all understand, we have so many texts of stories that we've researched that we found on social media or in the news and stuff like that all day long.
All day.
So
All
y'all don't even understand what's in our phone. Y'all haven't even heard half of the stories that's in our phones.
So, I mean, the steps that we like, getting into it, it's just so hard for us to stop laughing because a lot of our stories are serious and it deals with a lot of political stuff and true nature things that are going on, true crimes
It
that have
it
happened
it,
that
it
have
deals with
not been
life.
brought. Yeah, so we try to bring this stuff to the
Girl,
forefront.
you see what my husband said in the comments? He stay on TikTok. I'm always working, babe. I'm always
You
working.
are. And you know what? Josh, listen, I always ask him, well, not always, but every now and again, I will say to him, please tell Josh, don't cuss me out. Because I mean, like, you'll be like, I send you text after text after text after text after text. And he'll be like, friend, I'm when I get a chance, I'm gonna go through all of these text messages. I'm at work right now, or I'm busy. And this is on a Sunday. So I just be like, please tell Josh, don't kill me for texting you all day like this. I know y'all probably doing y'all little me time thing.
Now, Josh, you a stretcher. I send him about 25 a day.
Oh, but Josh, you be in the air all the time. Now, come on, you're in the air all the time.
Exactly.
The only text my friend need is, babe, join me in Tahiti. Babe, join me in Barbados. There's a ticket waiting for you at the airport. Okay, that's all
Okay.
he need.
So I have a really great question in my comments, Vicky.
Okay.
The comment reads, it says, what is your take on forgiveness? Do you feel that forgiveness is too hype depending on who you are extending it, who you are extending or retracting the forgiveness towards?
That question is from Maria, and Maria,
Correct.
you want me to answer that, or you want Thadric? I mean, I can go first. My take on forgiveness at this point in my life is once a person shows me who they and again, I hate to dwell on this, but this goes all the way back to my bitter divorce and being gaslighted for 5, maybe 6 years that we were together, maybe 7, I don't know. But my take on forgiveness right now is once I see a side of you that I didn't know was there, I'm not going to forgive you. I don't give a damn who you are. Our relationship is over.
Hey, auntie.
Our relationship is over. I just that's just, you know, people say they may say I'm bitter. I'm not bitter. I just, my eyes are open now, you know, and I just, Maria, I can't do it.
Maria say both of you, so I will say this. Were you finished, Ren? I'm sorry. Were you finished?
I'm done.
Okay.
Just know, Maria, I just know on my end, I'll retract. If I forgive you once, I will retract that back. And I could care less if you fell down. I'm gonna step over you like I don't even see you. I don't hear nothing you're saying. So don't talk to me, because even if you talking to me, I'm not gonna hear. I don't hear you. I don't see you. I don't like you.
Okay. So for me, hey Auntie Irma, hey Chuck, what's up? That's where I'm at now too, Vicky. That's what Josh said. Okay, so for me, when I think about forgiveness, I'm a Libra.
I'm surrounded by y'all.
I could see you and look right through you. Now, also keeping in mind that I could forgive you for an action, but I don't have to fuck with you.
I ain't forgiving you.
So, but also for me, it also depends on who I'm extending that forgiveness to. You get what I'm saying? I think for me, I would have a little more grace with family depending on the situation. But if it's if it's Mojo out of the streets, Shy, who gives a damn? You get what I'm saying? But that's how I look at forgiveness. Some people like, oh, you gotta forgive, you know. Yeah. So
someone just told me today, like, you know, she said, you don't think, you know, you'll ever revisit that relationship? No, that person's dead to me. And I'm not talking about my ex-husband. That person is dead to me. You feel me? Like, literally, I done told my kids, I don't want that person at my funeral.
Okay. So let me ask you this question, Vicky. Who in your family do you struggle with?
Do I struggle? Struggle good, struggle bad? Or period?
Bad.
You know what? I struggle with everybody in my family. I am the baby out of 10. And I came in this world struggling. I don't even know if those my real siblings or not, because them motherfuckers was here when I got here.
Girl.
Chuck really can tell you more about my family than I can. I
don't even know why I asked you this damn question.
Huh?
So I want to answer this question.
Go ahead.
So for me, and this is being extremely transparent, and many people don't know this because I come from such a large family, and we're very close. But the one person in my family that I struggle with is my mother. And I struggle with my mother is because we are so much alike.
I can't see. Your mom is so nice and so sweet. I've never.
My mama is a sweetheart. My mom is a sweetheart. But you have to also really. Let me tell you why I struggle. Okay, I struggle with my mom because, for one, I'm an only child. Not only am I an only child, I don't live in Florida. Okay, so I'm an only child. I don't live in Florida. I'm all the way. Maritza, my both of you are so much alike. I live all the way in Illinois. So when I want my mother, I want my mother. And it's very difficult for me to accept the fact that someone else is getting my mother's attention. Even at my age, at 47 years old, every man will always need and want their mother.
You are spoiled.
No, Vicky, there's a difference in being that. It's not spoiled. It's not spoiled at all. It's it's not being spoiled. It's more of
neglected. What is it? I mean, come
It's,
on.
I will say I have, for me, and this is being Josh. I spoiled as hell. I would
He
say I
is.
feel
I mean, that's
there are
I'm with you,
times
Ron.
where I feel a sense of resentment. There are times where I feel a sense of being neglected. There's time where I feel as if I don't have my mother's attention. It's just like I don't live there. You live around there. You live there with your nieces and nephews, sisters and brothers, cousins, and things like that. So if I call and I need 5 minutes of your time, this is just my opinion. I feel as if I should be granted that. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm calling to share something or just, and I will tell you this, Vicky, there are times where I just want to hear my mama's voice.
Oh,
We can sit on the phone and talk about absolutely nothing.
oh.
We can sit on the phone but I want to talk to my mama. We can sit on the phone and the thing about it is, I used to do that with my grandmother. I used to sit on the phone. I used to call mama. We used to just talk junk, gossip, this, that, and the other stuff when I lived in New York, when I lived there. And so it's just like my grandmother's no longer here and everything. But it's so funny. See, Chuck Gittes, he said, I struggle with my dad for the same reasons. And my 3 sons and I struggle for that same reason. He gets it. Someone understands it.
So let me ask you this, and Chuck, this is gonna go towards you as well. Okay, to me, is it maybe that because your grandmother, Miss Katie Lee, is not in the picture? No, before you even stop, think first. Before Miss Katie Lee, because Miss Katie Lee is no longer there, do you feel that you've clinged more to your mother? I mean, did you feel this way when Miss Katie Lee was alive?
I think when my grandmother, keep in mind, in my coming up, I'm young. I mean, my mom is young. I'm young, so my mom was my sister growing up.
Okay,
you understand what I'm saying? And so
okay,
my grandma was mama. That's where we all of my cousins we was at the house. You know that. So it's just like, and my grandma. Did my grandma always drop my children off here and y'all go about y'all business? That's the way that it was,
okay,
But
so are you transferring that what you had with Miss Katie Lee now to your mother in your older years?
I will say I will say this. I will say no, because my relationship with my grandmother and my relationship with my mother are 2 different relationships.
I get it.
So I will say what I expected from my grandmother is different from what I expect from my mother at this point in my life. I feel as if I personally feel there were so many years and so many things lost because of the fact I was raised by my grandmother.
Okay.
So now being an adult and wanting to ensure that my mother is a part of my life in every aspect of my life, in every conversation, every accomplishment, every downfall, every tear, every smile, I want my mama there. And keep in mind, that's not what I had as a child. You understand what I'm saying? Every time my mom goes through something or accomplish something or wants something, I want to be there for her. You get what I'm saying?
I understand that.
We can hold on. He said, like Chuck said, here's why we can clearly see other weaknesses and strengths like nobody else can see. That's absolutely true.
Okay, Chuck. Okay, Chuck says, here's why. And I can hear Chuck saying this too. We can clearly see other weakness and strengths like nobody else can see each other. So I understand that, but to me, it still sounds like I guess the reverse of empty nest syndrome, because Miss Katie Lee is not.
Just like
I totally
just
get
like Auntie Irma said. I struggled too when I was raised away from my siblings in Philly. Great conversation, So I'm an only child.
Not to interrupt you, friend, but I'm just trying to understand this, because I didn't have the best relationship with my mother. I actually have a better. I think my relationship with a friend of mine's mother is a lot stronger than it is with my other mother. Yes. Do I miss my mother? Yes. I
Wow,
mean,
Vicky.
I'm just sorry, but there's a friend. I have a friend, and his mother is more of, I can go to her with anything, things that I could not go to my own mother with. I mean, at one point in my life, this lady, my friend's mother, is the only one who
Mhm,
really knew where I was. If my mother wanted to get in contact with me, she had to contact this woman.
mhm.
I smell something burning.
You need to get off to go make sure the house ain't burning down.
Okay, hold on a damn minute, cause y'all hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay, so Auntie Irma, I just saw your comment. You said this is great therapy for me. Thank you all. We needed this. And you're right. And I'm so glad that you got something out of this conversation. And I'm glad that we did this tonight by being open and transparent and having this intimate hour with Vicky and Patrick, because you never know how you can affect someone else's life. And that's why I have no problem with being transparent. I can guarantee you, no one on this live ever thought that I would say that about my mother, that I would bring my mother up, because but with them knowing how close of a family that I come from. But being an only child and being an adult, there are things that I need and require from my mother, you know, and I will say, as an only child, there are times where I'm very selfish. There are times where it bothers me when I feel like my other cousins are a priority or they're getting that attention and things like that. But also, I also know that my mom is extremely stubborn. Okay. I know that I'm extremely stubborn. So, and
I'm
with
back.
us
Sorry.
being, with us both being stubborn, we bump heads. So it's almost like one of those things like, who's gonna break first? Who's gonna call first? Who's gonna text first? You get what I'm saying? One thing, I'm not as disrespectful, so I would never disrespect her and everything. But I also know how to take a time out because this is not mentally working for me right now, if that makes sense. So, yeah. But I'm glad this conversation is very helpful for you, Auntie. It is shoot for you as well as Chuck.
Guys, I apologize. I mean, something's burning outside of my house. I'm like, and my then so I'm just like, I had to check that because we had a little scare with the air. What is that? A capacitor I told you about the last time? Called
Exactly,
911.
exactly. Did you get any other
Um,
questions in the tag chat, Vicky?
yeah, there's actually quite a few questions in here. So,
Let's go
um,
for it. I like this.
yeah. So, all right. So, what are, if any, challenges you face as an openly gay man? This is a question
Hmm.
for you.
Okay.
Let's wait. Let me text them that. Y'all calling me a man? Because people don't tell me I look like a man.
I'm sure that was directed towards me, ma'am.
I've been told I look like a man.
um, one thing that people may not know, and especially a lot of heterosexual people, they may not know that lesbians are more accepted in today's society
Yeah,
than openly gay men.
that's true.
It's okay for two women to be together publicly and everything
Yep.
versus when it's two men, especially two black men, you're looked down upon, or you're soft, or you're
Yep.
this, or you're weak, and things like that. Um but you have to realize this is something that we've all had to deal with, especially when you come out as being gay and everything. So it doesn't affect me at this
Mhm.
point in my life. I don't give a damn. As long as you don't disrespect me or my husband, I'm good. You can say what you want, this, that, and other stuff or whatever, but I'm good. So it doesn't really bother me because um, I got bills in this house just like you got bills at yours.
Mhm.
I bleed blood just like you bleed blood.
That's
So
right.
it doesn't matter.
Yep.
No one, and I mean no one, will dictate who I love,
Exactly.
and it's just that simple. So
And
yeah.
I mean, like I totally agree with what you said. Like I said, I'm I tell people all the time, I'm not a lesbian. I am bisexual. Um, so yeah, I agree. And I just want to go back to what Maria, she put a comment in here. At least you have each other. I don't even know my mother or father until I was 12 to 13 years old. I was raised in foster care, so I'm very clingy to the Parkers. Maria, I need to have a conversation with you outside of deliberate discussions because I can't fathom what it's like to grow up not knowing your biological parents and being raised in foster care. I do have a couple of friends that have been raised in foster care, and if it's okay with my co-host, when we come back next season, I do want to do um, a segment on being raised as a foster child, and I would really like to interview you, Maria, if you are up to that. So my heart goes out to you on that because I know what it's like to be.
We love you, Maria.
Yes. Okay, so another another question came in for you, Thadric. It's got to be for you because I don't even like politics. Have you ever considered running for political office?
I have. And the reason, and I have thought about it. What's held me back from doing that is my family. And the reason
Why?
I say that is because I'm very vocal, that I'm not gonna bite my tongue and things like that. And and doing something, and do I feel like I have their support? Absolutely, have their support. But I never want to take my family through the scrutiny and all that stuff that goes on in politics. It's a nasty world,
It
a
is.
nasty, nasty
It
world.
is.
So keep in mind, it wouldn't be me running for political office. It will be my family running for political office. So,
Vote
and
Parker
keep in
for
mind
seats
yeah,
1 through
correct, correct,
10.
correct. Exactly. So the first time someone, and now keep in mind, I'm the candidate, but for me, I will tell you that the first time someone has something negative to say about a member of my family, that will trigger me and I would no longer be in the race. So I'll continue to go to work every day and be fine.
Mm. I just want to go back. I'm sorry, I hate to keep going back to this subject, Thaddeus, but Chuck really just posed. He said, "Let me try again. My dad could see me like nobody else. He knew when I was full of BS, but the reverse was true. I could see his BS, and he knew it. So the same is true with my sons and I. All our flaws are exposed to each other. Now, it takes a man of Chuck's stature to admit something like that. But
Yeah,
to
that
be
is.
able to see right through your father and y'all know each other way too well. Chuck, I commend you. And you have you and your son, you 3 sons. So, I know Chuck, you have to be dealing with a lot with 3 boys that that you feeling that way with. Um, Okay, so let me grab this other phone. So, I mean, man, this is some good conversation tonight. We're being intimate with Vicky and Thadric. Anything else you want to ask me, Thadric?
Okay, I just got a text message for a question. Ask Vicky, how did she complete the threesome research? Reading books, talking to people, or direct experience?
I can't stand y'all.
Girl, I don't shoot the messenger, girl. That's just the text I got.
Well, honestly, we're being transparent, and hey, my
Mhm.
life is open book. Some of it, mostly by experience. That is how I did, mostly by experience. I did speak to other. I'm in a few groups on social media, and I did ask a question in one of my groups. And some people that are probably watching this or will watch this will know exactly which group I'm talking about. But yeah, I did some research through social media, but most of my threesome experience, it actually comes firsthand. Again, let me just do the disclaimer. I would never ever do a threesome with 2 men and myself. It always has to be me, one guy, and another female. So
Damn, girl, I was gonna invite you up here for me and Josh.
oh well, I do y'all, yeah. I mean, shit. Both of y'all, you and Mike, y'all my
Damn,
man.
friend. I was sending to you,
Look,
girl.
2 5 bitches at the same damn time.
So
Listen, we joking, y'all. We joking.
we
It
are
ain't
joking. We are joking. We just having fun. Okay. So what other questions we got over there, friend?
Okay, so let me go. Okay. What is your favorite quality about yourself? This question is from me to you. What is your favorite quality about yourself, friend? I don't know who this is. They keep texting the same thing over and over again. Okay, a minute.
My favorite quality about myself is my ability to love. I love so hard and so pure. Um, does it sometimes, do I sometimes love the wrong people? I do. But I was raised to love, and my grandma loved everybody. My grandma, you know my grandma Ricky.
Yeah.
She didn't give a damn who you was. If you needed something to eat, if you needed some place to stay, you can
Yeah.
come on 8th Avenue. My grandma was just a loving woman. So I take pride in that quality that I have.
Mhm.
And um and my husband can tell you that I love so hard. There are times, honestly, there are times that I don't sleep at night. There are times where I love my husband so much, it is important to me to ensure that he's happy. So if there's something that I know that he wants to do or he wants and everything and stuff, I'm going to toss and turn and figuring out how am I going to make this happy? How am I going
Right.
to make him happy? How am I going to make this happen for him? And so just my ability, and I love so hard and so pure. And so yeah. Oh, somebody said Katie Lee. Oh, thank you. Y'all know her. Oh, the community
She
brother.
would.
Oh,
She definitely. I mean, Miss Katie
oh,
Wilson. She would give you the shirt off her back, the shoes off her feet. She was. There's this thing that people say there's angels walking the earth. Miss Katie Lee was one of
hmm,
those people. Like I
yeah.
literally knew her mostly through my sister Gloria, and I don't think Miss Katie Lee had a bad bone in her body. Maybe when she whooped y'all
Baby.
behind, but the
Baby, my grandma could cuss like a sailor. You hear what I say? That's where I get it from. Baby, but she
but
loved
she was
everybody.
such a sweet lady. She was. May God rest her soul.
And
Um,
that's where I get that from. And that's why I'm so open with people. That's why I'm like, are you okay? What do you need? What can I do? And things like that. That's just what was I just got from my grandmother, and I take that into my life now. Even with my employees at work, I make sure that they're good. What you going through something at home, let's work this out and stuff like that. Even with my husband, let's talk this out and everything. Even with my mother, my family, and stuff like that. So it's even with you. You know how I am, Vicky. Yeah. So yeah.
all right. So here's another question. This person, I'm so sorry, y'all, if I'm not reading the questions fast enough. It's just that I have my own questions, and I also want to give you all some questions as well to ask. So, hey, Andrea. Hey, Chandra. Hey, Gennaro. Southside Delray was a love street from the Ave to the end of the end. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
the,
let me read it.
uh,
Southside
the end of the
Delray
road
was
by
a
the grass.
love street from the Ave to the end of the road by the graveyard. Gennaro, right?
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right because your grandma, my dear, my mama. Listen, Reverend Burton said something at my mama's funeral. She said, "If you get the name Medea, then you are a Psalms. What is it? Psalms 31 woman." And Gennaro,
Mhm.
grandma, Medea, lived right over there on 8th. Everybody went over there to get their knee-high sodas out the machine and get beat in the street. My dear
Exactly.
wasn't watching, but
She was on that
baby.
first block of 8th Avenue. Yes, God. Right on the
So
right.
y'all already know. So Janera, I totally agree with you on that. Definitely. Um,
Yes.
okay, so let me read this question. Okay, when it comes to your platform, how do you both get around disagreements when it's time to do a segment? Segment. Oh, you mean like when it's time to do? I guess they mean like when we. I guess you mentioned that we don't always agree. So I guess
Correct.
they're asking how how we get around that. Um,
Correct.
the name of the show is Deliberate Discussions. So we deliberate. That's the one thing I love about the name of our show. We don't just research certain topics or whatever. We actually deliberate on whether or not we should do this, and we consider what our viewers will think about whether or not what are they going to say. Like when we bring on political candidates to our platform, we think about the backlash of what it might bring, because not everybody is going to like the political candidates we bring on the show. um a lot of times, I mean, and jump in there anytime and save me, Thaddeus, because yeah,
But I will
I
say, but
think
also, but I want, I do want to say this, that even when we've had political candidates on the show, that same invitation has been extended to both candidates.
yes, yes,
Okay.
we
Now, and I
actually
will say, yeah, yeah, we do. We give everybody an opportunity. This is
yeah,
deliberate discussions. Don't be afraid to come on here and talk about it.
yeah,
Now, I probably can hate your guts, but at the end of the day, this is deliberate discussions, and this platform is for everyone.
that's
You
right,
get what I'm saying?
that's right,
I don't necessarily have to agree and keep it. Don't get me wrong. I love a good debate. So if
yep.
you want to come up here and talk shit, let's do it.
That's true. That's true. And everybody, just so y'all know, I'm not being rude when I'm looking down and Patrick is talking. I'm actually
Correct.
reading from both of my phones, and
Correct.
my
Correct. Correct.
iPad right here too.
But
So
but also, to just so you guys know, even when we're deliberating on our topics and preparing for the show, we don't always agree on the topics. There may be some topics that we may put in the parking lot and say, well, let's do this on this week. You get what I'm saying? Or we think about, how would this topic affect everyone? Or it may be a topic that we just don't have enough research. We just don't know if this is actually true. So so we'll be like, well, let's just do some more research
yeah,
on that. Or it could be something that my friend really, really want to touch on, and I'm like, okay, but I'm going to support her. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because this show is called Deliberate Discussions, and it's about having a conversation back and forth. And as you guys, our viewers, you followed us, through 6 seasons so far, and you already know
yeah.
we don't always have the same opinion, and
That's
that's what's so great about the bond that we have. We don't always agree, and it started with the beginning of this show, when we talked about forgiveness. She had a completely different view on forgiveness than I did, so that's how we do it.
yeah. And honestly, y'all, like tonight we got a disagreement about this damn wig because Thaddeus didn't think it looked good, and I'm mad as hell because I pay a lot of money to get my wigs reconstructed. And when I gave this wig to
Hmm.
somebody to do, they put the wrong color front on it anyway. But that's why I'm trying to fix this old ugly ass wig. So if anybody want
So
it, I'm gonna give it away. Y'all can have it.
I have a question for you, Vicky. Do you feel like it's important to grow up in an emotionally supportive environment?
Is it important? Yes,
Hmm.
it is important, but it's also important to grow up in an environment that is not only emotionally supportive, but also an environment where you experience disappointments.
Correct. I agree.
Because,
I
in
agree.
my opinion, if you have the emotional support, you're always going to have someone lifting you up to, help carry you, but you're never going to experience the obstacles of the struggle, which is in
Correct.
turn is going to make you a stronger person in life. Like, I don't want to,
Hmm.
what is it, spoon feed my children.
Hmm.
I don't want to hand them stuff on a platter. I mean, y'all heard the saying, oh, you was fed with a silver spoon. I don't want that to be my kids. I want my kids to experience what I experienced growing up on Ninth Avenue, the struggle, eating the buttered rice and the hot dogs and the beanie weenies and all of that. I don't want it to always be, steak and lobster and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I want them to experience the real struggle, because one day they may lose it all and they won't know how to react. I want them to know what it's like to have your lights turned off for 2-3 weeks at a time. I want them to live through that kind of stuff. And am I a bad mother for saying that I want my children to experience that? No, I'm just telling the damn truth.
My husband is so foolish. She said, and for question and answer, her name is Vicky Horton. Great answer. Oh
You
God,
know
my
what?
husband is a fool. So I do want to ask. I do want to ask. I do have another question, but I want to answer this question as well. So the question reads: what's been on your heart and mind recently? I want to start by answering this question. So, what's been on my heart and mind recently is the future of this country. I am so terrified if this election doesn't go the way that I want it to go. I'm so terrified. And I'm terrified not only for myself, but for all of us. Even the people, I'm afraid for the people that also supports Donald Trump.
Well, friend, listen, you know I love you. We had a
Mhm.
conversation about this and the future of this country, and I told you what I think is going on with Donald Trump right now. I think Kamala Harris has Donald Trump in a chokehold,
Mhm.
and he realizes he's lost this election. So he's using this election now just to say everything that he really feels and about every race, ethnicity that he feels about. I really think it's all just a joke to him. I honestly believe that Kamala Harris is going to be the next president of the United States.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
don't want our viewers, I don't want you to worry. Hey Shawanda, how are you? Andrea says our black men going against Kamala and supporting Trump. You know what, Andrea, you're absolutely right. But in the same tone, our white men are going against Donald Trump and going for Kamala Harris. They raise more money than our black men. So I have faith that Kamala is going to win this. I really do. And like I said, Donald Trump, she got him in a chokehold. That debate, baby,
Mhm.
she want to call him the M word.
That is true. So let me ask you this question, friend. When was the last time you cried?
I cried last night.
Okay.
I cried last
Okay.
night because I thought about my mother. And my mama has been gone for 10 years. And somebody made God, why you did this? Um a friend of mine, Keisha Clemens, made a post about her mother. And recently Darlene Garcon did the same thing. And Keisha's post, like, it really grabbed me because you never get over that. And she in her post, she made the statement she doesn't know how people get over losing their mother. And I it's been 10 years and I still haven't
Mhm.
gotten over it. And it makes me very, very emotional because I didn't have the
Mhm.
best relationship with my mother, but I did make peace with her before she left here. And I have her sweater in my closet. For 10 years, I have it. I have never washed it. I can still smell her perfume on that
Mhm.
sweater. And that's one of the reasons why I won't wash it. But that's the last time I cried. And my friend Keisha, I had to stop scrolling after that because I couldn't think anymore.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
And that's one and that no, it's okay, it's fine because that's one thing about grief. I mean, it will hit you at some of the most unopportune times, and so I completely understand. I mean, I still grieve my father and my grandmother to this day, and there are times where you know I too cry about them. So I completely understand. But I will also like to answer the question in the spirit of being transparent. When the last time I cried, the last time I cried was actually yesterday.
Oh,
Um, and the reason and so it goes back to something that you and I were talking about earlier when we talk about marriage. Um, and I hope, and I'm going to say this and be transparent because I want to help someone. Marriage is not easy. it is constant work of being married. And on yesterday, um, you're not going to always agree in marriages. You're going to have somebody that's more stubborn than the other one and things like that. And yesterday, I left home being stubborn, and I left home not completing a conversation, but being upset and being an asshole and being stubborn and speaking, you know, not being so pleasant, and to my husband. And when I got in my car, of course, Vicky, I live in fuck Egypt. And I was I was I was headed downtown to a doctor's appointment, but it had given me, just the ride along had given me so much time to think about what had just occurred and how I left home. And um and it made me think about, like, oh my God, I can't believe I left home with us not being in a place of being settled, being understanding or listening to each other. I left home being upset or being angry or, upsetting him and stuff like that. And I could be in this car and get in a car accident right now and be
Mhm.
killed or something, or,
That's true.
anything could happen and things like that. So, and knowing that I had left home like that, and um, it literally brought tears to my eyes because I love this man so much. And um anything could happen, and not knowing what state of mind I left him in.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And um and at that point I could only, so it did hurt me. It did, bring tears to my eyes. And I did call him, and I did had to be I was accountable for my actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should not have left home that way. I should have ensured that we were okay. I should have ensured that, I heard you out. I should have ensured that we completed the conversation. I should not have been stubborn and stuck in my feelings. And for that, I apologize.
Mhm.
So I say that to say that um, you should never go to bed upset. You should never
Never.
leave home upset. You should always ensure that there's a clear understanding and the both of you can be accountable.
That's true.
You don't always have to always have to agree, and you won't always agree, but
Right.
ensure that you take the time to hear each other out.
Mhm. And that's what being
So
equally yoked. That has a lot to do
correct.
with being equally yoked. You both have to agree to that. And like I said, it's not for the weak. It's not for the weak.
It's not.
I know we're
Correct.
over Thadric, and not that I just want to go back. I just got a long text message, and this
I'm
is
fine. I'm okay. So if you want to go
okay.
on, it's fine.
I hope you don't mind me saying your name, but this came from Gennaro. This would have been my answer to that question about y'all disagreeing over a topic and how y'all handle it. She says, from my personal opinion of y'all, I'll answer that for y'all. Jay said she gonna answer this for us, Thadric. So I hope you got your seatbelt on.
Go for it.
Thadric and
It's coming from Gennaro.
Thadric
It's coming
and
from
Vicky
Gennaro.
have
So
a long history of mutual respect for each other. I know they communicate and bounce off each other the pros and cons of the topic in all caps and take the best route that don't bring them confusion or discord. Their friendship carries a bigger value. Jay, you finna make me cry.
that
Their
is, oh
friendship
girl.
carries a bigger value than any topic. If they can't agree to disagree, they'll put a pin in it with no hard feelings. Now,
And then I just say move it. Then I say put it in the parking lot. Then I say move it. She hit the nail
you
on the
just
head.
summed that up. Janera Wright just summed all of that up in this text message. She just summed it all
Yes.
up. So she's absolutely right.
She is absolutely right.
And Jay, I don't know if you was joining us at the beginning, but Thadric asked me who would be the people to tell my stories, and I put that you definitely are one of those people that would be there to narrate my story because you know my story. Thadric, Gennaro might know you between you, Gennaro, Penny, Tyra, and my kids. That's gonna be a hell of a story right now.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, good job, Gennaro. You really hit the nail on the head with that one.
Summed that one up. Thank you, friend. But Thadric, I this is my question to you. And like I said, I know we're going over. We're almost 10 minutes over, but this is a great conversation. And thank you so much to our viewers for joining us tonight. Um, and whenever y'all want to know, just let us know. But Thaddeus, I want to ask you this, and I've been with you when you lived in Delray in Florida. I've been with you when you went to New York. I've been with you when you went to Las Vegas. I've been with you when you went to motherfucking Utah. I've been with you in what, you went to New York, Chicago.
Chicago, California.
What was the
Chicago,
little
California. Back
Amish country you went to? I say you the only second black. You the second
that
black.
was that was that was
That was
Utah.
Utah. So
Yeah.
out of all of those states and cities, Florida, New York, Las Vegas, Nevada, Utah, Illinois. I know you're at home now in Illinois. Had it not been for your job, which one of these cities, including your hometown, don't forget us down here, were you most happy?
When you left out Atlanta, I will say
Oh,
that
I did. I'm like, I know it's one more. So
I will say that I was very happy in Atlanta. And the reason, because I lived in Atlanta during a time where it was very progressive for young Black professionals.
okay.
And me starting my career and all that stuff and being in Atlanta with all the opportunities and stuff like that, that was the start of my career. That was something different with leaving Florida for the first time, moving to Georgia and stuff like that. So, and everything that I had accomplished in that short time, and, in those years of being in Georgia. So I was very happy there. And I've always said if I was to ever, you know, go back south or something like that, of course, if I was single, you know, it would be back to Atlanta. Unfortunately, due to, the lifestyle, the gay lifestyle, a lot of the Black gays moved to Atlanta for the lifestyle because the lifestyle is very prominent there. But there's
I
also
didn't
a
know
lot of
that.
opportunities. Oh yeah, most definitely. But there's a lot of opportunities in Atlanta as well, especially for young Black professionals. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, so my last one for you, and again, this is coming from me. How do you handle the stress, if there's any, and or the challenges of holding down your professional career, your hobby, which is deliberate discussions, and your relationship, your marriage?
Oh, that's a great question. So let me tell you this, because I say this all the time to my employees. Um, I've been in my career, it's been 18 years now. So I have done it all. It's just like I'm not stressing myself out on nobody's job. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, I done been there, done that. Let them other people do it. This, that, and the other stuff. There used to be a time where for a fact, I used to travel like 90% of the time for my
Yeah.
career and stuff like that. For me, at this point, it's all about personal life, professional life balance. And there was a time where I did not have that because I threw myself into my career. And I did that, and some people don't know how I threw myself into my career because of failed relationships. That was a place where I felt so much more safe and, felt so much love and stuff like that in my career. Now, how do I balance it? Um, my personal life, my home life, my marriage, my husband is more important than any career or
Mm,
any hobby.
that's right.
You know, if it's something that's going to affect what I have going on in my personal life, I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not going to happen. I'm okay with walking away from my career right now if it's affecting my home.
Wow. I love that.
I wouldn't give I would not give a damn if I had to go flip burgers at McDonald's down the street. As long as that man upstairs right now sitting at that island eating is happy, I'm okay.
Listen, you gonna leave Matt hanging?
I'm
You gonna leave Matt hanging?
Peace. You understand what I'm saying? But that's just where I am, and especially
Yeah.
if it's something that's affecting my mental health.
Oh
No,
yeah.
we're not getting
Yeah,
ready
no
to do that.
problem.
It's not getting ready to happen. So yeah.
I had to ask you that, friend, because I know where I was, where you are now,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
I would do anything for my husband. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, it was actually, to me, it should be your husband, it should be your spouse's career and happiness over your own when it comes to being, when it comes to marriage. And you know what? When there is no support on that end, that's where you as a spouse jump in and say, I got my man. I got you, babe. Don't worry about it. I got you. You know. So saying that you're willing to leave your career for your husband, that's huge. Because there's not many people that will make that sacrifice.
Yeah, because it's like my thing is, why have myself all stressed out and sick, blood pressure up and things like that because of what's going on at work, and then I'm no good for home. You get what I'm saying? It's just it no good whatsoever. So it's just like you have to get to a point where you got to think about, I need to be doing something different. This is how this is affecting me, and this is how it's affecting my home and my marriage. And that's just where I am. Even with the decisions that my husband make, of course, he's retired military, but he also has a full-time job now. There are times where, he gets aggravated in his career and he wants to stop doing that. And it's just like, and babe, that's what you want to do. I support you.
Yeah, do it. Yeah. Well, guys, I listen, this has been a very great show. This season has been off the chain, and we owe that a lot to all of you, our viewers.
Exactly,
for watching us this season. We have one more show, which is going to be airing next Wednesday, September 25th. If nothing emergencies come up, that will be our season 6 season finale. And we're going to take a break because Thadric has his birthday and Josh's birthday coming up. They have this cruise, and friend, don't forget to leave a copy of your passport with Pam. Exactly. Josh, driver's license, all of that stuff.
Friend, I like the fact that you know who's gonna be here at the house. You already got this down pat. You already know who's gonna be.
Listen, don't worry. Anything happens if y'all let the ship leave, y'all. I've already spoken with Chevy Potter, and he's agreed that if we pay him to gas up his boat, one of his boats, he will take him up the coastline to get y'all. Don't worry about it. We got you.
Correct.
So Maria,
we love you guys. I love it. Janara, thank you so much. Love y'all transparency. Thank you so much. Love you. Thank you, Auntie Irma. Thank you, Andrea. We love you too, Maria. Love you both. Oh my God, this is great. No, again, like you said, Vicky, deliberate discussions wouldn't be what it is without our viewers, and we're so grateful for them. And I'm so glad we took this opportunity tonight to be so transparent and allow our viewers inside our world, because we're so busy reporting on different topics and things like that. So this has been so rewarding for me to be able to open up to our audience, and also to be able to open up more to you as well, friends. So this is great. So we got to do this more often. But I something that just clicked in my head with next week being our season finale for season 6. I would love if some of our diehard viewers would want to come on the show and talk shit with us. That would be amazing. But
listen, this platform, we do not discriminate. We're not a messy platform. So if you have anything that you want to come on here and say, Mia J, now is your chance. If anybody talks to Mia J, next week, Wednesday, September 25th, if you want to be on the show, just send us your email address and we will be more than happy to send you the link. You can come on next Wednesday, September 25th at 8 p.m. And baby, you can air it out.
Maria say I'm in. Okay, Maria, I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna talk to you.
And she better come on too. She better definitely come on. And bring that boy mama with you too, because he misses mama.
I'm sure she'll be in the background. Okay.
Josh,
we love you. Josh is insane. He upstairs waiting on me like, you better come eat. All right, I love y'all. This has been a great show.
Do they have payday loans in Spanish? Come on, Pam, get off of this darn line.
Pam is crazy. I swear to God, I love her to death.
I love you. I love you all so very much. Thank you all so very much for joining us tonight. This has been an intimate hour and 20 minutes with Vicky and Thaddeus.
Exactly.
listen, just for the record, we are like this every single day with each other. And it scares me. I tell my friend all the time, friend, it scares me how in tune we are with each other because we'll be texting at the same time, the same exact thing.
The same thing.
And I'm
Like,
like,
girl,
get
how
out of
was you
my
thinking
head.
about that?
Please, like, I literally
Okay.
got a camera on me, like, bro, what? Get out of my head. You know, so.
Oh Lord, but yeah.
But
So,
Janelle, thank
but
you
y'all
so much
have
for your kind words. Auntie Irma, thank you all so much for joining us. Shawanda Yorker, thank you for joining us tonight. Maria Marshall Bean, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on Wednesday, September 25th. And again, if anybody out there knows Mia J, then please have Mia J to give me a call. 561-325-1488. We want everybody and anybody who wants to come on the show next week. We're doing an open platform discussion. Anything y'all want to talk about, we're going to talk about it. Okay. So
let's talk about
have
it.
a great night, everybody.